I think it's time.
It's time.
We're back. Another session of Three Ball Walk. Bob, Eddie, Julio. Welcome back. Talking baseball. A lot of things happening. Softball season's over, so Eddie doesn't have to talk about softball anymore.
Hey, it was a great year.
It was a great year. It was fun.
You got to admit, one of the all-time classic games
of any sport.
17 innings.
You know, one thing I want to add, and we can do this, and then we'll jump. And since we won't be talking about it anymore, you know, and as always, but I'm not the most politically correct one anyway. But in my attempt at being politically correct, I have no clue why the sports industry as a whole doesn't jump on softball.
Oh man, completely.
And I'll tell you why, because I don't want to say they're trying to cram it down our throats, but the WNBA and a lot of these, and it's good sport. I mean, there's some great players.
It's fast, it's good.
But people will look at it and their first comment is they're not as good as the guys. It's not, hey, it's good, it's okay, but it's a lower class of basketball. They're not as,
Oh, you mean WNBA?
The WNBA or women's college basketball that they show and everything like that. Well, softball, they are every bit as good as the guys.
I would say better than.
Okay? Softball is their own. I think I just kicked the
There's
thing.
an earthquake. Oh
are we still on?
Yeah, we're still on. We're good.
Okay.
You did kick it, though.
Oh, I know I kicked it. I felt it. I saw it shake.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
But it is. It's their own women's unique sport that game on Monday night was
unbelievable.
One of the most exciting games, and it didn't matter. But it's almost, instead of women playing another sport that is also played by men, whether it's volleyball. Hey, women's volleyball is really good.
It's great.
And then you watch the Olympics and you watch the men play basketball.
Volleyball.
Yeah. Holy smokes. It's like cannons. I mean, it's a different, and then you sit there and you go, wow, they're really good, but there's a better. Softball, you can't say that about. You put softball on there, you promote it, you run it, whether it's professional leagues, whether it's college sports or whatever, and you promote it, people will watch it.
And the one thing I will say, and Eddie does this more than you and I do, I went to this games last year with Eddie. I didn't get to go this season, but to be there in person and see it, it's
a great sport.
Awesome.
It's a great sport, and give credit to Oklahoma, to Coach Gasso. She is a class lady, class program, and so if you had to lose, that's somebody you want to lose to. But both teams played well. That's what you hope to have in a championship series. The umpiring was
not as bad as it is in college baseball.
Yeah, not as bad. And it was okay. I mean, it was doable. There were a couple of mistakes made, and a lot of things happened out there that they talked about. But overall, I thought it was really good. And you're right. I think it is something that networks and people in general need to promote a little bit.
It was, and you know about this more than I do with the Twitters and the hot and the little pound hashtags and everything like that. But it was the #1 thing being tweeted or whatever on Monday night. I mean,
they knocked the baseball game off. They knocked it.
The game ended. And they go, now we join our game in progress, and it was in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, but they had knocked them off of the regular network, which was the first time. Usually you would have them go to ESPN News, but not that game.
And it was funny though, because when they did resume it, and it was to show you how late. It was a game from Dodger Stadium. It was a 10 o'clock starting game, and they finally got to it, and it was in the bottom of the 8th, which I thought was
12:38 when it finished. And hey, give everybody credit to come back, and both teams I thought played pretty well last night. I was not surprised that Florida didn't win. Just emotionally, you're playing a home team basically in Oklahoma. You lose an incredible game. Took a lot of energy and a lot of effort. But hey, hats off. It's a great year. If you get a chance next year to go watch them, I promise you, anywhere around the country.
Or watch it on TV. Promote the sport.
Because
it's exciting. It's a lot of fun.
It's a blast. Now let's get back to baseball.
Big news this week, the Marlins. My new boy.
Wait a minute. Wait. What happened?
What happened to the Marlins?
What happened to the Marlins?
They threw a no-hitter.
No way.
It's not even on here.
No way.
And you know what you need to do to throw a no-hitter?
Yeah.
No way. You got to pitch 9 innings.
9 innings.
No way. That did not happen.
That's unbelievable.
What, did somebody tie up the manager? And was he taped to the wall?
98 pitches. It was.
If he'd got to 100,
here it was funny. In like the last, last 20 years, there's been 2 no-hitters thrown under 100 pitches.
Both of them been by Marlins.
They were both the last.
Because if you get to 100, you're getting yanked. I mean, if you got 2 outs in the ninth and you got a 2-2 count and your 2-2 pitch is a 100th pitch, I think he comes and gets you.
But they were playing well. They won. They put together 4 straight wins. The Marlins were starting to climb. They're 2.5 games ahead of the Phillies now, out of last place. And then all of a sudden,
hey, but the Braves are in
second
second place.
7-3 over the last 10 games, and that's because they lost the last 2 in a row. And here's one: what team in baseball has 3 guys with 14 or more home runs?
Well,
let's go with the Marlins.
I'm with the Marlins because Michael
It is
Bohr
the
leads the league, or he's tied with the league.
Justin Bohr.
Justin Bohr, sorry.
Okay, Justin Bohr, and what happened to him last night? And that's what you didn't put down on your list of the latest things.
I didn't put it down.
Same thing. Freddie Freeman leading the league in home runs. What happens?
You get hit.
Justin Bohr out.
Justin Bohr.
15-day DL.
You get hit. Got pitched.
I think a leg or something like that. But
he's got a leg.
Yeah, that's how you say it now.
Yeah, he's got a leg.
He's got an arm.
He's got a groin. Like apparently everybody else doesn't have one. But
they actually asked. I was sitting there on this little trivia thing, and they're asking people, how many groins do you have? And the majority of people say 1.
Yeah, 2.
Is that hilarious?
Yeah. 1 each leg.
One each leg. Yeah, it's 2.
It's a
but people say
bipedal.
they always. That's how much they don't know what a groin is.
Oh no, you just don't know. It's not a medical show for sure, but baseball.
We cover all topics.
Yes,
it is one thing.
That's why we have
diversified here.
No audience today.
No audience today.
No.
Well, it's school's out. It's summer.
She's actually on her riding on a bus on her way home from Washington D.C.
Yeah, school trip from us from Alachua County. So, it's an interesting thing in baseball. Pujols hit 600 home runs. That to me was one of the biggest things of the week.
I totally agree.
A good guy by everybody's standards. Everybody that talks about him. Rarely do you hear anybody say anything bad about Albert Pujols. 600 home runs, definitely a Hall of Famer. With no doubt would have been, I think, without 600. But that just that carries you over the top.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can talk about it. I mean, he got hurt. He signed the big contract. He got hurt, and I think part of the rap on him was undeserved because he got signed at the time the Angels decided they were going to make a big run, and they signed him and Hamilton. And Josh Hamilton just flat out
he was a bust.
He was a bust, and they put him together. Wow, the whole move was a bust, and Albert Pujols was a bust. But he's put up some good numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of money, obviously.
Yeah.
But the supporting cast wasn't there.
It hadn't been there. I guess it's still not there.
Well, they got the best player in baseball.
Not right now.
Not now.
Not right now.
Not right now.
No, he's out 6 to 8 weeks on a slide.
Here's
Right, on a slide.
Yeah, on a
Against the
slide.
line.
He wasn't wearing one of those. I was going to ask that about 3 weeks ago, and now you just brought it up. They get those little mittens and everything like that, and they can run. Is there a rule against having like a 2-foot mitten?
That's what I've always wondered.
I mean, you can get a bigger lead,
right, and you can get back.
dive back, and like here's the base, and your hand can be like way back here.
Yeah, you're at least 6 inches.
I'm waiting for them to start pushing. Someone's going to come with a 3-foot mitt,
I don't know.
I don't know what the rules is.
Glove. I mean,
why don't you get a bigger sliding mitt?
Bigger slide. Yeah, that whole thing, the sliding mitts and putting those things on. I never have liked them.
No.
I never have liked. I think it's an unfair advantage, truthfully.
Well, it depends.
And I think even the arm.
I know
guard,
those guys' hands aren't as big as those mitts are.
No, it can't be.
So you're at least getting a couple inches, and baseball's a game of inches.
That's right. And if you beat it by just a swipe tag, you're in there, and it makes it hard for the umpire to tell when your hand actually hit the bag because the black thing may have hit the bag, but where's your hand in reference to it? And arm guards. They see them in softball with all the arm guards that they wear, and they can crowd the plate and not have to worry about getting their elbow hit. Same thing in baseball. Bonds wore it and got up on top of the plate and got in there with that thing. Got hit a bunch on that. I know I'm an old guy and I know I'm an old school guy, but I'm like, take that off and the numbers will go down because you'll get off the plate.
Well,
and you'll give the pitcher the outside corner again.
And you can't throw close either now.
No.
So I mean, pitchers have a real hard.
No, you have no place. You have no place to own the plate anymore without getting suspended.
Several years ago, Bob Costas was interviewing Bob Gibson, and they were talking about Barry Bonds wearing all the armor, Gibson going, I think I could break some of that. I mean, really. I mean,
And he could have.
He could have.
No, he couldn't. No, you can't.
No,
It's armor. It's armor plate. It's the carbon fiber. It's not
The
Kevlar
stuff that they'd
is not-
had in the 60s and 70s that Gibson would have been throwing up. He'd have
Right,
broke-
but
he'd
he's
have
talking
broke
about
it.
now.
No, now, yeah, no.
If you put that piece of thing on any player, you can get hit by 100 mile an hour and it's not
And
going to
you can
break.
stand in
You
there.
can stand in there, but that's the problem is you
And
can
that fear
stand in
factor.
there.
That
Yeah,
fear
it's
factor.
gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So Randy Johnson, for instance, in Crucky, and that all why not just deck everything on the batter's side? Elbow, wrist, knee, and you put a knee brace on there, maybe on the hip, and then you can stand in there and not have to worry about.
Did
getting hit
you
off.
did you wear ear flaps when you were in Little League?
I did. I wore the wraparound helmets when you ran
Yep.
on the bases,
We had those.
and I have 8 stitches above this eye right here because I was sliding into third base and the throw came in and hit me right there and split my eyelid. And after that, we wore full helmets in our league. the
We
rest of
did,
the time.
and
We
it's
had
funny
the
you say that. I remember you used to have the batting helmet, you had the running helmet
Right.
when you got on because the team only had like 3 helmets.
Right.
One was a left-handed helmet and 2 were right-handed helmets because you only had 1 flap. And then the right-handed helmet halfway through the season would break, and then you'd only have 1. And then half the time you'd go up there wearing a
Our
left.
league must have had a little bit more money because we
had
had both.
I used to either bat with part of the time, but usually it was the wrong helmet, like you're batting with the flap on the backside.
Why would you do that?
Because that was the only helmet we had.
Yeah, your league definitely didn't have enough
At
money.
least it covered the top of the head.
What?
Well, look at the
but
Gators.
the part that you worry about your
Look
face.
at our league, our place. Look at Nelson Maldonado for the Gators. Okay, what's his unique thing?
No batting gloves.
No batting gloves.
right.
That's my high school.
Yep.
I mean, we just didn't have any equipment like all you guys.
Well, you had to wear a flapless thing in high school? I thought you were talking about Little League.
No, in Little League. In high
Okay.
school, we had helmets.
Yeah, I started to say you had to have helmets in high school. You wouldn't be allowed to play. Even in Florida, even in your neck of the woods down there. But yeah, I mean, it's like the equipment now is all protective, and I think it's one of the reasons why it's more difficult to pitch these days, and everybody likes the numbers to be up.
And the rules.
Yeah, you think about it, guys in the 50s. Why didn't guys throw 90 mile an hour, and why weren't they throwing at their heads? Well, because they weren't wearing helmets. They were just wearing hats up there to hit.
Back to what I was saying. So Bohr has 16,
Right.
and Ozuna and Stanton have 15.
Right.
Only team in Major League Baseball.
Well, then Mark Reynolds in Scott, I can't say his last name probably, Scheibler should be worried about the DL coming because they're tied with Bohr right now.
Oh, then they're done. They're
done.
going to get hit. I mean, somebody's going to take them out.
Unless in our last
Zimmerman.
story before we go to cut, we've got about a minute.
Ryan
and a half.
Zimmerman, too.
Unless
16 home runs.
Scooter Jennett,
Jeanette.
we don't even know who this is. Unless he has another night like he did, 2 or 3 straight nights in a row, he could be the one having to worry about going on the DL.
Yeah, but he hits 4 homers, joins a very select fraternity in 4 homers in 1 game.
How many have hit those?
17.
17
In all times?
All
all
time.
time.
17.
That's a rare.
Well, think about it. It's rare to get 4 at bat. I mean, 4 at bats. You got to be in the top part of the lineup on most nights to get 4 at bats.
He got 5, 10 ribbies.
10 ribbies, that's right.
How many ribbies? I know he had 3 home runs going in, and he now has 7.
Yeah.
Right.
And how many ribbies did he have?
I
going
don't
in?
know, but the last 5 years, I think he's hit like 38 home runs. Is all he's hit.
Who was the last guy to do it? Was it another
That was the
Cardinal?
trivia. No, the last guy to do it was not a Cardinal. We've talked about the last guy who did it.
We did?
Oh, was
We
it?
mentioned the last guy who
Was
did
it Albert
Was
Pujols?
it the Dodgers?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Sean Green did it.
Josh Hamilton was the last guy.
Josh
who did it.
Hamilton was the last guy that did it.
2012.
Who was the
Was
Who's
that
the
when he was
Cardinal
with the
that did it?
Rangers, or when he was with
With the Rangers.
the
2012.
Rays, or when he was
The Rangers. Yeah, or maybe it was in Cincinnati then.
Who was the last
Mark
Cardinal
Whitten.
to do it? Mark Whitten.
There he is.
Good job. Mark Whitten did it about 10 or 12 years ago. I
Yeah.
didn't know if that, but I think
Mark
Sean Green did it
Sean Green did it, and I can't
About-
remember. I looked at the list this
right after I
morning.
left the Dodgers.
And but yeah, he did it, and 4 homers in a game, and
And then you know this if you saw the list.
I don't know.
The Brave to do it.
Oh.
I remember that. I
you
was a
know,
kid.
I can see it. I know I looked at it this morning, but I do not.
No
remember.
way.
I don't remember who it
My
was.
2 Brave. I remember that. That's the first time
Joe
I ever.
Adcock is the one I want to say.
The first time I ever saw or
Dale Murphy.
heard. The first time I ever saw or heard someone do it was when this guy did it.
Don't know who it was.
Watching on TBS.
Who?
Horner.
Bob Horner.
Bob Horner.
2 for
Captain
2.
Bob.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
You
Bob
saw
Horner.
it today.
But it'll be interesting to follow him. I don't think it's quite the story. I mean, we're not going to give him the backing of
Trevor Story. No,
yeah.
hey, we're out of time.
But if he does it 2 more games in a row, if he has 15 home runs in 3 days,
Then we
3
can talk
and then
about
4,
it.
4, and 4, we'll definitely be talking about
We
it.
definitely talk about it then.
Hey, we'll be back for part 2 in just a few minutes.